questions about good and evil in the world.
Ooh, that sounds like a great topic. So joining me in the house today is Sharon, and we are talking about the energy of good and evil.
I have questions about good and evil in people, and I see a lack of caring, understanding, compassion for other people. Is that them being affected by evil? Now, is the good and evil energy in the world also affecting them?
It always affects us. We always have, and I always remember, like, you know, when you're a kid, you see little cartoons like a good angel and a bad angel, and
right.
Who's going to tell you this and who's going to tell you this kind of thing. And it's one of those, all of us have those choices to make. No matter what you grew up in, you could have grown up with the most loving, supportive, amazing parents that said all the right things, they did all the right things, all that kind of stuff, yet you can still choose to go wrong. You can still go, I don't want to deal with that, I want this.
Well, are we in a war then between good and evil?
We're always in a war between good and evil. It's always a war between good and evil. There's never a time where we're not in a war with good and evil. And it's down to the cellular level. It's not just like down to the person level. This is down to the cellular level. Are you going to do the right thing? Are you going to say the right thing? Are you going to blah, blah, blah? Does that make, you know what I'm saying? It's like we have those options a million times a day.
Well, what does that mean for our society?
It's been like this forever.
I know it's
not
been like that forever, and maybe it's because it's a time of social media. People are clicked in on everything that's happening. You know everything that's happening all of the time about everybody, which I don't personally like myself. But what does that mean for the future?
Well, before it, like if you had an incident with a neighbor that was doing something wrong or whatever else, like you could keep it personal between the two of you. Now you could go to war over this, but it wasn't publicized, and now it's publicized, and so then people go, ooh, I can do that to my neighbor, even though the neighbor just did like one tiny infraction or whatever else. It's like, oh, I'm gonna recreate that kind of war for me.
Isn't that particular scenario?
But that's choosing between good. I could let this go, and I could tell the neighbor, like, hey, you ran over my plant, you owe me another plant, or be cautious and everything else. And it's more like they're trying to create the drama, because everybody nowadays wants to go viral. They want their video to go viral and have millions and millions of views. And I got to set the pace for that day, what was important. Everybody that day believed my story. Everybody that day believed what I was telling them. That's like a insane amount of power. You know what I mean? Like when you really think about it, you're like, okay. And usually a video doesn't just trend for 24 hours. Usually it's several days to a week, depending on what it is. But it's like, and everybody talks about it. It's kind of like the water cooler talks. Right. It's like, did you see this video? Did you? And a lot of people are like, here, if you didn't see it, let me grab my phone and
I'll forward it to you.
And I'll forward it to you. Or here, watch it on my phone over and over and over again. So it's like every time you do that, you're like you're pushing the agenda of this dark energy. Listen to what I just said.
I heard you.
You are pushing the energy for this dark energy to come forward. So if you go, instead of watching all of that, I'm going to pray for these people. I'm going to light their energy. I'm going to send them angels and guides. I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to open up their, does that make sense? That's a whole different energy.
I understand that completely, because I'm the kind of person, if someone's having issues or they're having things, and I'll say, well, I'll pray for you. They look at me sometimes like I have two heads. But I want to put good out in the world, because in all honesty, in my lifetime, I want good to win.
So one of the things that you could do if you really want good to win in this war, instead of watching those kind of videos and giving your energy to that, because your energy goes to whatever you're watching.
I don't typically watch this.
So I'm just saying, like if you're watching something like that, instead of that, praying for those people, praying for the energy to come from your space out into the world in like ribbons or circles of energy and light and love and that sort of thing. And then every time you see something of light and love in your world, remember it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like when you see someone let someone else cut in line at the grocery store. They only have 2 items. So you're like, yeah, go ahead. Not a big deal. Or pay for someone else's meal or do something, you know what I'm saying, like a little special or a little whatever. Like that changes that energy. So literally you are becoming a beacon of good energy. And the more you look for it, the more you're going to find it. The problem with those videos is that negative energy, as soon as one person sees it, you see it like, oh, watch this. Oh, have you seen the video about this? Have you seen the video about that? Have you did? And it's like,
starts to multiply.
So multiply the other direction. So when you see a good video of someone doing something great, share that video. Send light and love into the world. That's how you win your war between good and evil.
I can do that.
It's one of those, it's easier than you think, but it can also be harder than you think.